Hello and welcome to Adobe Live. My name is Gus and I'm delighted to be hosting Olga this week on our series. Go ahead, please. On our series that is celebrating UI and UX design specifically in Adobe XD. We'll be here all day today, tomorrow, and Thursday. We were live right before this with Talon and Paul. Tomorrow we'll actually be live with Marvin and Paul with a different guest, so you'll get to meet him tomorrow. Right after that, I'm live with Olga, and then after us, Melody will be live with Paul again. Melody is a participant in our Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenges that we've brought onto the live stream, so we'll have to give her a nice warm welcome. Go ahead and jump into the chat and say hi to us. Let us know where you're from. Something that we love to do is kind of read about and hear about where you're from. Also, we appreciate funny jokes in the chat and suggestions for the design. So get in there and get interactive, because remember, this is an interactive live show. Just really quickly let you know about a couple things you can do while you're watching the streams this week. Today we have a challenge that you can check out on the challenge tab just above chat on Behance. All you have to do is design a mobile app experience for a scooter rental app that has at least one overlay in it. So there's an overlay feature in Adobe XD. Go ahead and play around with it and then share the prototype with us with a form that you can find in the challenge tab. And then in about 30 minutes, you can win a prize. They can win a Moo notebook with lay flat technology, which is super cool. All you need to do is be active when you see fireworks playing behind us. So stick around for that and get ready. With that, I guess we'll say hi really quickly to people that are joining us. We've got Utkarsh, Sergey, Brienne, Karthri. I'm really bad at saying.
We have a lot from Ukraine.
Yeah.
A lot. I'm actually also from Ukraine.
Nice. We've got Vlad, Carol, Andrea. We've got a lot of our good friends, regulars, and some new names. We've got another Gus in chat, Gustavo. That's pretty cool. Great to see you here with us. And we'll go ahead and let Olga introduce herself really quickly about what she's about and what she's going to be working on this week.
Yeah, actually, hi again. And I'm Olga. I co-founder at Netrix. And as I mentioned before, I am from Ukraine. Actually, I have economic degree, and 3 years I worked as business development manager. But I realized that I want to do something different, and I want to create something. So I decided to go to web design courses and started working as a UX designer. I worked in 2 outsourcing companies, and then I decided that I want to know what happened with product after release, that I want to receive real feedback from users. I want to know if my assumptions were correct. I want to know how good was my ideas. And then I decided to join American startup Lifehouse as lead product designer. It was a really great experience, but I decided to move forward and open my own digital agency, where now we specialized on working with startups and mid-sized businesses. So yeah, this is like a quick overview.
Awesome. Thanks for the overview. Feel free to get into a little bit more about the designs, I guess. Now that's the next slide, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so now I think we can talk more about what we are going to do these 3 days. And actually we are going to create mobile application for dental clinic. And first day we will define goals. We will talk about our audience. We will discuss the flow and start wireframing. Tomorrow we are going to finish wireframing and start in UI. And on the 3rd day we will finish UI, and I hope we will have enough time to create awesome prototype in Adobe XD.
We can do it.
Yeah.
We can do it.
So we will create what we are going to do. Mobile application for dental clinic. Let's call it Smile. And let's assume that this is... Yeah. Let's assume that this is existing clinic that provides some services and have 3 awesome specialists working. And what we need to know at first is mission and vision of this clinic, to be sure that our decisions are in line with it. So mission is exceed expectation by providing exceptional dental care to our patient, and at the same time building relationships of trust with them. And vision, provide our patients with dental experience that will prompt lifelong relationships built on trust, confidence, and quality of work. So as we see, everything related to good and long relationships. And what are our goals? So the first, what I'm interested in when I started working on a new project is the main thing is the goals. So it can be business goals. From business perspective, let's assume that it may be simplify making appointment process to increase loyalty of existing clients, and and also it can be maybe receive more bookings online and don't need to have like additional receptionist, so we can save some money. And from user side, it can be easily schedule an appointment without necessity to call and make it from any time, from any place.
So
Because people don't like to call nowadays. It's much easier to do something online and just grab your phone than looking for some quiet place to make a phone.
I think some people also kind of have like phone phobia, like they don't want to use their voice anymore. But if you were to go about creating an application like this, would the business come to you with their business goals, or would you like work alongside them to help define them? What does that usually look like?
Yeah, it actually can be really different. So, for example, if we are talking about projects from scratch, we help to define goals. But it also can be like existing and working projects where we're working on some improvements on additional features, and we just know these goals.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. But for this project, you've essentially made them up based off of your own experience?
This is just some kind of assumptions that we create for this project.
Yeah, that's super fun.
So we also can think about who may be our clients. And, people don't like download application from services they don't know, and it may be much easier to just visit websites than download application to make an appointment. But for existing clients, when you know it, when you also can have some useful information about your treatment, it can help. So our main audience is existing clients of this clinic. And actually, if you're talking, if it was a real project, it simplifies our life because we already know a list of our potential users who we can invite for some interview or usability testing.
Yep.
And when people may use this application, when they're going to schedule an appointment, view information about treatment, and maybe check some information like day and time.
Cool.
And what I usually do the next, it's creating like a high-level overview, creating user flow, where I'm trying to focus on main things and be sure that we don't miss anything. In case we have just limited time, just 6 hours, and we will focus just on one flow, on the main one, the booking an appointment.
Do you find that sometimes you'll define the user flow like this, but then you go into wireframing and you realize you need to go back?
Of course.
Because you test and do stuff, right?
It's often happen.
Yeah. Okay, cool. But I think this is a great step when you're thinking about, okay, what are my goals?
Yeah.
What's the use case? How's it going to happen? How's it going to work?
Definitely, everything in future will change, and especially when you receive real data, real feedback. But you need to have something to start with.
Right on. Cool.
So
you're going to tackle just a part of this user flow this week, or are you?
Actually, this is just booking an appointment, so flow.
Cool.
And just quick overview. So we start with login, and then we may have two cases when user login first time or second time. If second time, he just navigate to his appointment list. If first time, user need to create an account. And we may think how we can simplify this process for user. So as this is existing clinic, we have information about our patient, and we use phone number to log in. we can check if we already have this patient in our database, and we can create account for this user using this information. And
Cool.
everything that needed from user is just confirm that it is his information. So no additional step for user, just one click, and he is in application.
Nice. So it's removing a lot of those barriers to entry, right? Getting them in quicker.
Yeah. And then user have like listing of appointments, past, upcoming, and can manage them, cancel or reschedule, and also the main thing like booking an appointment. And here I try to think what may needed to book it, like select some treatment, select a doctor, select date and time. It may be also important like insurance type or and maybe add some additional comment. So
Cool. We have some comments in chat
Yeah,
saying
cool.
say you're legit. Everyone says it's a really nice user flow. That you're really smart. We have some comments asking about the next challenge. So if you're just tuning in, you can participate in the challenge right now. All you need to do is check out the information on the challenge tab above chat. Follow the rules, create a design, share it with us, and then we'll review it here at the end of the stream, and you'll have a chance to win a year subscription to Creative Cloud. So we'll go back to what you're doing.
and actually this is it. We can start.
Nice.
I created some sketches to make our process today more fast. So I think we can start and then discuss each screen in more detail during the process.
Great. Yeah, that sounds nice. So you use these sketches to inform the way that your wireframes are going to be produced, or your low fidelity designs? Or?
Yeah, it's some kind of low fidelity sketches that will help me to create wireframes in XD.
Cool. Do you typically do the sketching process like physically, manually, like on paper?
Yeah, actually, I try to do it on tablet, but I don't know, I prefer paper.
Yeah, I'm like that with notes. Like if I'm taking notes,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
to do it on paper. It feels weird to type them or.
Yeah, because I like just, I don't know, cross it and something change, and it's give you something real, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Like real book.
Or like crumpling it and throwing it away. Like,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
get out of here. New one.
It's like reading. I really love to read like paper book because you can these pages. And
Yeah, it's tactile. It's nice.
Yeah. So
Cool. Okay, cool. So you've got the screenshots already loaded up into XD.
yeah, actually here I have like flow to don't forget anything, some sketches, and as you see here, to make process of wireframing faster, I usually have like list of common elements already prepared that are reused from project to project. They don't spend a lot of time on this.
Yeah, and if you're just watching right now, you can actually there's a free wireframes kit you can get within Adobe XD, and it has a lot of elements in it too. So if you find yourself like, oh, I need a keyboard, or I need some icons, I need a map, a lot of that's available for free. It's a wires kit. You can find it on Behance or straight through XD.
Yeah, some of this element actually I download from the sources.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I just put some that I mostly use. So to have everything. So here I have like some action sheets, pop-ups, keyboards, navigation bars in different states, some tab bars for different amount of tabs, some controls, inputs, buttons, icons.
Awesome.
iPhone frame. Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. So you'll be kind of like copying, pasting, or dragging and dropping as you go? Or
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I'm going to do it. So we can create our first screen.
Hi, and hey Ahmad, thanks for joining us again. Ahmad's here very frequently. He's one of our good friends.
Actually, I saw in chat that there are a lot of your fans.
I've got a lot of friends. Well, they usually talk to me as Adobe Live. They call me GusBot. But sometimes they let me out of the computer and let me in front of the camera. So that's what we're doing today.
So
Mikhail says hi. He says he recognizes your accent. Let's see. It might be from. He's from St. Petersburg. Thanks for joining us. We'll get to your design.
Well, you know, it's interesting to read some comments and design, and you're trying to start your here and here.
Yeah.
And yeah.
We'll be able to juggle it. I'm sure as you're designing, I'll probably interrupt you and ask you questions.
Okay.
For now, we've got Eric saying hi, Ryan, Paulo. Great to see you all. As always, thanks for being here. If you're watching and you haven't logged in on chat, just log in on Behance, come say hi, ask us some questions. We love the interaction, and it helps us think of, questions and some design ideas that we might not have thought of otherwise. Welcome to Smile.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if it's like face recognition on iPhone X and you have to smile to open the app.
Yeah, it's a really cool
That'd be
idea.
kinda funny.
Yeah. And you can't open if you don't smile. Yeah.
You're not smiling big enough. Ah! Hi Darshan, thanks for joining us. Raymond, great to see you. Harish, great to see you. If you're looking to get into UI and UX design, I highly recommend downloading XD. It's totally free. You can download the starter version and then start designing right away. You have access to the entire tool. The only limitation is you can only publish one live prototype link at a time. Other than that, you can start practicing your UI and UX design for free. Hi Daniel, great to see you.
Actually, I really like a new feature in Adobe XD, Repeat Grid, where I can just...
The best. It's magical.
Yeah. But I need to create group first. And then... Yeah.
There we go. Something cool you can do with Repeat Grid also is create like a grid of elements. Let's say you want like a photo gallery or something.
Yeah,
You can create a grid and then just drag and drop pictures.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it populates them. Vajana, great to see you. Vlad says, I've learned so much about design from your streams. I hope to appear on your streams as a pro designer. Vlad, you totally can. Just keep designing, stay in touch with us, be part of the community, and one day you could potentially be on the stream also. That's the story of Melody, actually, later today. NG, great to see you. Darshan, thanks for being here. We have a question. Why do you use the iPhone X size? Is it a less common size for development?
Actually, now I use iPhone X because I have iPhone X, and when we are going to do UI, I want to use XD Mirror to see how it looks on a real device. But most often I use iPhone 8 size for design.
Gotcha. But you have an iPhone X personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a great point. One of the reasons is she uses the XD app to play with her live prototype. So if it's an iPhone X, then it's easier to see the live prototype. So it depends on what device you have. You can also do responsive resize, which is pretty easy if you need to adjust the artboards.
Yeah, actually, and I think now it's not so big problem with a lot of tools that we have, and one of actually good things how we also can simplify sign in for user. It's like have on the keyboard like some hints where we can have his phone number from phone book, and also have the codes that he received from messages, and there is no need to type. I hate typing.
Yeah.
And I love it when application simplifies this process and just give some hints. So
this would potentially this experience would use the information that the Office already has on a user to just auto-populate it?
This is not from Office. This is from actually from device.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
This a lot of application can do it right now, and I noticed it. I don't know, maybe half a year ago that I just can tap and fill in my phone, and they just took it from my phone
easy.
book. Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah. From my point, it's scary. From other point, it just you don't do anything.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I feel like we're not going to have to think in like 10 years. We just click buttons and then move about our lives. Anthony asks about, is Adobe XD responsive? I haven't used it yet. You can do a responsive resize on artboards, I believe. So what you can do is click on an artboard and then adjust.
Yeah, so like a responsive resize.
And then if you change the artboard size, it should adjust some of the elements. It'll require some tweaking.
But here I have grid, so repeatable, so this is...
Yeah. So you'll need to adjust some things, but more or less it just helps you get it done a little bit quicker, which is nice. Gustavo loves your stickers.
Yeah, without stickers, it looks boring for me.
I know, mine's so boring. I have no stickers. I should get some on here.
I will take some tomorrow.
You're gonna hook me up with some stickers?
Yeah,
I've got some too. I've been hesitant. I feel like, I don't know if I'm a sticker guy, but maybe. Gotta try them out.
You just haven't found your stickers yet.
Yeah, you're right. I need to find my sticker voice.
Yeah.
Be true to my sticker self. When you're going about these wireframes for the user flow, do you typically play with like a splash screen at first, or do you find that it's better just to like jump straight into like logging in?
Actually, splash screen I do like in the middle of process, and mostly I'm start do it when I go into UI.
Cool. Okay, that makes sense because it's just a design element.
Yeah, and actually starting design, I also, especially UI, I also start not from login or sign up. I start with most complicated screen first, and then go to other screens.
Nice. Does that just make it feel like the design process is easier, or maybe you're able to design like a design system that you've made for the difficult one across the easier ones? Or?
Yeah, and also it like, if you create the hardest part and it's good, so the easiest one will be just easy, yeah.
Cool. I think that's a good strategy. So if you're working on the design, try and start with the hardest screen or artboard first, and then move to some of the easier ones, which might be something like a login, or something where you can borrow UI elements from wireframe kits. Hi Jeff, thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Pretty good phone number. I'm going to call it later. I'll get the International Portfolio Review Space Station on the line. Hi, Philip. Thanks for joining us from Switzerland. Awesome to have you here. It's always nice to see new faces and names in chat. Dana has an XD CC sticker on the Mac. I've got an XD sticker. I just need to slap it on this. James, thanks for joining us from Texas. Helena, awesome to see you. Raven's asking, is that a scooter sticker? Do you have a scooter sticker on your laptop?
Yeah.
It is a scooter sticker. Scooter sticker confirmed.
Yeah.
Hey Jan, great to see you. Thanks for joining us. I expect some funny jokes, puns in chat. Make us giggle a little bit. Here we go, the organization. Do you typically name all of your artboards? Or is that just 'cause you're on the
I
stream?
try to do it first because when you finish, it's much harder.
Val says, hide your kittens. So for those of you that don't know, Jan Erik used to have a username that was kittens wearing mittens. We need to bring that back. Hi Manu, thanks for joining us. And I'm glad you're finding the updates useful, Helen. They're going to continue to come every month. If you haven't yet, you should check out the plugins. There's a lot of really cool plugins in XD now. Hi Kaylee. Hi Louise. Great to see you. Vera says, yay for good UX. Beck, great to see you also. Thanks for joining us, everybody. If you have any questions as we're designing here, feel free to ask. And if you're feeling inspired, you should participate in our challenge. You have about an hour to share with us and we'll review it live on stream. And you have less than 3 minutes until you could potentially win a notebook from Moo. So stick around for that.
Yeah, actually, challenges, it's a really good idea. You can receive feedback, you can train your skills, and you also can have something for your portfolio.
Yeah, they can definitely be portfolio pieces. Getting the feedback's nice. And if you win, you have a design, you have the full Creative Cloud suite for a year. So
yeah, it's awesome.
You can really get into some designs. Ryan, thanks for joining us, first time watcher. Great to have you. Hopefully we see you around more often. And Devin, you as well, thanks for joining us. Zachary says, oh my, a notebook. Yes, a notebook with lay flat technology from Moo. Don't miss it. I'll let you go ahead and start explaining some of the designs you're doing right now.
Yeah, actually now I'm doing a screen, so if you don't have any information about user for this number, user need to create account, and we just ask email and name, and that's it.
Nice.
Yeah, I think everything should be simple.
Pretty straightforward, yeah. What font are you using?
Now it's Arial, but I haven't seen yet about font. Just put the first that was in XD
Right.
for wireframing.
Because these are just low fidelity, right?
Yeah, but I think for UI, I'm going to use San Francisco.
Cool.
I like this font, really.
Mm-hmm.
But we can use it only for iOS devices. If we are going to create application, for example, for Android, we unfortunately can use this font.
Gotcha. Noel, we are live every week. We're actually not live next week because it's Thanksgiving break, but we're live every week with different types of design, and we're typically live once a month with UI and UX design, where we're live from Tuesday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific time. You can also catch some streams on Mondays and Fridays. They're not all day, but typically we'll stream on Fridays with Talon at 12 p.m. noon. So that's a cool way to get involved and get some insights into the design process the team puts into designing XD as a tool. And then John, to answer your question about desktop versus mobile design, if you tune in tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time, Marvin's actually going to be designing a web experience, a non-mobile experience for like a perfume subscription service. So that'll be a good chance for you to see a different type of design if you're interested.
And now here's the screen.
We have some magic going on right now.
Oh, cool.
Firework magic. All right, all you have to do right now, the fireworks mean that it's chat win time. All you have to do is log in on behance.net/live, get into chat, and then say anything. Say hi to us, give us a compliment, tell us where you're from. It doesn't matter. That's all you have to do. And while you're doing that, we will be right back. Welcome back. We're doing the chat and win. We're getting hype in chat. We got a Gus bot in chat from Munir. Oh, it's Gus Boss, excuse me. Jan Eric is being cheeky, says say anything. You all rock, thanks for being here. Raphael says Tupac is the GOAT. Thanks for the compliment on my shirt. Very nice of you. Hello everybody, thanks for being here. I can't read everything, it's going very fast.
Yeah, it's really fast.
All right, let's take guesses on who the winner's gonna be. You pick a name out of any of these you see flying by, and I'll do the same thing.
So just a name?
Yep. We're just gonna guess. I mean, there's a chance we get it right. And it'll show up. It'll show up over here in just a second.
Dennis.
You think Dennis is gonna win? I think Eric's gonna win. Oh, we were both wrong. It's Maxime. That's probably how you'd say that, right?
Yeah.
Maxime, you wanna say the last name?
Kavalishin.
All right, congratulations on winning. Thanks for joining us in chat. If you did not win a Moo notebook right now, you still have the opportunity to get 15% off your order at Moo. All you have to do is go to moo.com/Adobe Live to get 15% off. Maxime will actually message you on Behance here in a second with a code that'll allow you to claim your free notebook from moo.com, along with some instructions. So look for that in your inbox. Thanks for participating, everyone. And now it's your chance to start designing something for our daily challenge. So go ahead and check that out and get designing. You could win a year subscription to Creative Cloud.
Cool.
Maxime says, wow. They're on a,
Where is Maxime? Someone looking for Maxime.
yeah. Hello. Oh, Maxime's from Ukraine.
Cool.
That's cool. Big congratulations to you. And again, we'll be doing this again in the next stream, so if you didn't win, stick around for the next one and you could also have another chance.
It's like a sign that guy from Ukraine won today.
Yeah. It was good luck.
Yeah.
And Jesse, it's not necessarily spamming to win. All you have to do is say one line in chat. If you send more than one line, it doesn't give you more chances. So try not to spam actually, but just say something in chat, log in, and start participating. And we hope that encourages you to stick around and continue asking questions, being part of the community. Maxime says, I remember Olga from the Ukrainian Dev Challenge 12. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Cool. Small world.
Yeah, it like some kind of competition in Ukraine, where we have several rounds and different. It's for designers, for developers,
Cool.
and anyone can participate. It's really cool and great experience.
Awesome.
Especially final round where you have like 5 hours and you have your it's offline round and you receive your task and you need to have a result with presentation, with explanation what you did, and yeah.
I feel like those experiences can really sharpen your skills as a designer. They really force you to like
Yeah.
to hit it hard.
I take a part in this competition 2 times. And last year I just was in final round.
Nice.
And but I didn't win. And this year I won in this competition.
Congrats.
And actually I received a prize like trip to Silicon Valley.
Whoa.
That should be next year in April.
Wow, congratulations. So we got a champion in the house. Give you claps. It's awesome. And Johan, yes, all of the replays you can find on YouTube, you can also find them on Behance. There's actually a replays tab right above the player. So all you have to do is click on the replays tab and you can access any of the Adobe Live replays that we've broadcasted here on Behance. Hi Ashish, welcome. And I think somebody asked about winners for the challenge. We'll select one challenge, so one designer today to win the prize of Creative Cloud for a year. And then we'll also have a new challenge tomorrow where we'll select one more designer for that challenge to win a year subscription to Creative Cloud. So all you need to do is share your work sometime before 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. So you have a little more time. If you want us to review it, then you have to share it in the next 54 minutes, give or take. So Isaac has a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you worked with a detailed product app for like clothing, etc.? Question is, what common mistakes should someone avoid when making one? So I guess, have you worked with like a product app for like fashion or clothing? And did you run into any like roadblocks that you would suggest to try and avoid?
Yeah, actually for product, for clothing, no, I haven't worked. I mostly have experience with working with some financial application, with some planners, with fitness application, with some email services, and also some, what else? Some social networks, but clothing.
Do you find that in those experiences there are some like common pitfalls that maybe someone with less experience might do that you can identify, or is that just like too vague to speak on? You know, like maybe you would say like, oh, well, I'm looking at a design for a fitness app, and I can tell that you made these common mistakes because you haven't learned the lessons yet.
I see. I mean, the first thing you need to understand how other similar applications. So if you just start how other application works, but you should remember that something that works for one product, it doesn't mean that it will work for your product. So everything before you test it and before you launch it, it's just assumptions, and you just can minimize the risks. But anyway, before you launch your product, you can be like 100% sure that everything will be good.
Yeah. I think that's really good advice. Yeah, every product, every design's different. You really have to do your due diligence and research.
Yeah, you should know your users. You should know your competitors, and try to have this information before you launch your product.
Yeah. Did you like look at any applications that were similar to the one that you're creating this week before you started designing it?
Yeah, actually I looked for someone. It's not only like just application. I just looking for example, making an appointments process. And also this is why I included some information about insurance in creating an appointment, because for example in Ukraine we don't have. And some quick research give me an idea and thought that it's something that needed for US market.
Gotcha. Cool. Thanks for sharing your experiences and stories with everybody. I know it's like knowledge that you have from your experience, but I think it means a lot for anybody tuning in. You have a lot of new faces and names joining chat. Gary Kapoor, thanks for joining us. We also have Ignacio in chat. We've got Jesse, Madheshwaran. We got James Dodd. Thanks for being here. Awesome to have you. Feel free to ask more questions as they come along and you think of them. Raphael's wondering how you determine your spacing. Do you use like a grid system or point system?
Actually, yes. For example, for wireframing, I don't care about it. For UI, it depends on project, but I really like, for example, 8 pixels grids, and it allows to simplify everything. But also, I don't use it for any project. Some projects I use different grids, and there are some web projects that I use not like 20 columns grid. I use like some custom grids. especially created for this project.
Gotcha. Yeah, we had a designer 2 or 3 weeks ago who does the 8-point grid system, and something that he had said was it allows like handoff to developers to be a little easier.
Yeah. It's really simplify development process.
So that can be a good place to start if you're looking for, a good recommendation. But like we've been saying, you also have to be a little bit flexible. You can't always do the same grid system. Depends on the design.
Yeah, but it should be at least any system, especially for a big project. And if you want everything be developed easier and be developed as you want to see it, it should be some system.
And Gary, to answer your question about nested symbols in Adobe XD, there might be somebody in chat that can help you out with that, but if you can't get an answer, I would recommend checking out the user voice forum for Adobe XD. There's a lot of threads about product features that people are seeking and looking for that can get upvoted and also get product updates from the XD team, and they really use it to define their roadmap for product development. So you should definitely check out the user voice forum. Something I'm excited to do later this week on day 3 is the prototyping, playing with auto animate and some of the new features. I think that's going to be fun.
I also, for now, I don't know all new features, but what I saw and what I tried, I like it.
Cool. I do too. There's actually a really cool file that Howard Pinsky made. It's like an auto animate UI kit. You can find it on Behance. He published it recently. And it has it's like a walkthrough, a step-by-step of the different things you can do with auto animate, along with instructions on how to do them.
Cool.
So he teaches you some different types of animations, gives UI elements that are easy to animate. There's also in there some drag examples for the drag feature. So if you're wondering about auto animate, I recommend checking out that UI kit. It can really walk you through it.
Actually, also thinking when we finish this 3-day stream, I going to prepare everything and upload as free UI kit on Behance.
Cool.
So everyone will be able to download each part, including wireframes and prototypes.
Oh, that's great news. When you do that, if you make our page co-owner, it'll be on both of our pages.
Yeah, cool. Nice. I will do it.
Cool. So you can look forward to that. And Paulo, I can share that auto animate UI kit with you in chat in just a moment. Here we go. Oh, Val got it. Beat me to it. So that's a pretty cool resource in terms of learning and navigating a tool, because one of the things I've noticed about auto animate is it has lots of really cool features and things you can do with it, but you really have to learn how to think like an animator. Like the tool isn't gonna do everything for you, so you have to really be able to break down the animation that you want to see into some steps. And I think that file will help you think of the different ways you can do that. Gary's wondering what UI taxonomy you used. I'm not a UI UX designer, so I can't really speak to that. Did you use a taxonomy for your project?
Taxonomy, maybe.
Let me see.
I'm not sure about translation and.
Oh, I guess it would be like a classification of UI design. Gary, maybe you can elaborate on that a little more. I don't think we have necessarily an answer for that, but thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's wondering how you communicate with your team and developers. So how would you communicate? Let's say you were to communicate with the team on this design.
Yeah.
How would you go about that?
Actually, it was pretty easy when I was in Ukraine because we have teams there and we work in one office and we have like some daily discussions, and also we can anytime if any team members have any question, we just can discuss it. Now when I'm in USA in trip, we because of time difference, we have just few hours that crossed, and we have like daily calls and discuss projects, ideas, make some brainstorming, and yeah, for development, it's really important to for designer to speak with developer and spend some time with not even when designer starts, but also when you create. So you have some idea, and if you speak without it with the developer, you may know how many resources will be needed to create it, how it easy or no, and you may like think, do we really need this feature or don't?
Yeah, like maybe it's more work than it's worth or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it would be really hard to design an application without constant communication with your developers.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. And William, to answer your question about the UI kit, I think some of the elements were borrowed from the Behance Wires UI kit. You can find it actually right in the XD app. All you need to do is go to File and then Get UI Kits and then click on Wireframes. It's pretty easy to find, and it actually has a lot of the design elements you would need to then start wireframing. Do you ever create your icons in Illustrator and then bring them into XD?
Actually, yeah, I prefer to create like custom icons, but for wireframes I always use just some pack of icons, and but for UI, yeah, because you know, you even it's really difficult to find the set that you need with all icons and all elements in the same time. And some days I realize that it's much quicker to create something by your own than to looking for it.
Yeah, I think so, especially if you know how you want them to look and how you want them to interact with each other. So when you go to create your own custom icons, do you typically do that in Illustrator, or?
Actually, yeah, Illustrator is really good for this.
That's cool. I think something you can do now in XD is actually open Illustrator files, which is really nice. So you can create something in Illustrator and then open the Illustrator file in XD, and then it becomes an XD file.
Yeah, I even may create some simple one in XD.
Cool.
You know, with some shapes and but for more complicated ones. So I forgot what I want to do.
Sorry, I keep taking you off track.
Yeah. Actually, now I'm creating a screen with appointment list where we have like past and upcoming appointments, and here we have tab bar. Where you can easily book an appointment, see a list of your appointments, and have other information like your personal information and maybe some application settings. But we will not focus on profile these days. We will work with these two tabs.
Cool. And you can actually not link an Illustrator file in XD, but you can open up an Illustrator file in XD. So that's kind of what I meant by that. And then in terms of a design system, if you're referring to like having a collection of like colors and assets, design styles within XD, if you look at the assets panel, it's actually up on the screen right now, up in the top left. You can actually, you can create a collection of assets, icons, character styles that can be applied across the entire design. And then if you change one of them, it adjusts all of them throughout the design, wherever that symbol is used.
Yeah, I usually like to use it, and also colors and fonts. It helps to make everything consistent, and don't have like 1 pixel more or less in your design.
Yeah, totally. I think, and it makes changing things a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
So if you need to go back and adjust something, it's one click rather than
Yeah,
manipulating every artboard.
Yeah, you decided to change the shape of your button or even a color, and you can do it one click in whole document, and no need to go each screen separate.
Mm-hmm. Gary, for a question like that, I would recommend reaching out on the user voice forum, or searching on the user voice forum, or potentially even tuning in on Friday while Talon goes live for Designing XD. I think he's a little more equipped to handle some of these more advanced questions for features that XD I think is either working on or doesn't have yet. So Vlad's wondering how many UX and UI design works you've had in your portfolio when you got your first job.
Actually, I got my first design job when I studied on web design courses, and I had only two works in my portfolio. No one real project. Everything just from our courses.
Cool.
And it was really crazy because I was going to web design courses, and I have an interview in a company who specialized in mobile development as a needed designer for mobile apps, and I haven't known anything about it. I received my first task, and I remember it was like creating splash screen and registration, and I remember I went from the office and I started just Google what a splash screen is because I even don't know what to do. And all weekends I spent in Google. I'm searching about different examples. I also created some animation in After Effects. It was like my first time, but I wanted to do at least something because I have no experience, so I wanted to impress. And it helps.
That's great. I think it goes to show you, like, if you don't have the exact skill set that you need, then you're applying for a job and they give you a test like that. There's nothing wrong with doing your research and teaching yourself on the fly. I think even professional designers all the time teach themselves something new.
Sure, you can know anything, and it's not bad if you haven't knew anything yet. You just can do it.
If your audio feed is cutting in and out, I would recommend refreshing the player or maybe trying a different browser. It might help you. But I think, your point about learning on the fly, something that's important to say also is you can learn the skills on the fly, right? But I think something that takes a little bit longer to learn is actual solid design sense. What makes a design good and engaging, especially for the type of design that you want to work in. And I think that takes a little bit longer. Like your education speaks to that, and practice speaks to that, and maybe doing master studies. Like if you're able to break down, take an app or a website you really like, and then just break it down into parts and try and understand why it works and what makes it good. Those sort of exercises can really help you develop good design sense so that you can learn some of the techniques and skills on the fly.
Yeah, and also for example, train UI skills, you can just, if you just starting to do it, you can just copy some works and trying to, not show this works as your, I mean just trying to repeat it and just have some practice. And then you can create it by your own and can create better and better.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really rewarding when you can see yourself progressing at anything, but especially design, because if you're saving your projects as you go, let's say you participate in a design challenge, a daily challenge, you'll see progress over the course of 2 weeks or a month, and it's really exciting because you realize you have markers for the work you're putting in.
Actually, when I don't know, 2 years ago a year ago I opened my test work for my first job. And look at it, I even don't know how I received the job.
Well, I think what they must have known is you had you had the skills, right? Like you had the design sense and the
Yeah.
ability,
Yeah.
even if you didn't have everything they were looking for, to learn, and to become better and to have.
Yeah.
The
The main
value.
thing is if you want to learn, you will learn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think something that's really nice is actually everybody that's watching right now and everybody asking questions in chat, they all have the same desire, which is to like learn and become a better designer and to interact and to build a community around something
Yeah.
that they really care about. And I think that attitude is really important if you want to become a better designer. So I'm really thankful that you're all here asking questions and participating. Hi, Kathleen. Thanks for joining. Awesome to see you. Somebody pointed out that on your one artboard ago, if you put your appointments, it would technically be.
Yeah. Sure. I missed.
I'll keep an
Yeah.
eye out for this.
Cool.
Yeah, I got your back.
And actually now I'm going to create a booking process. In case we have like a lot of things like selecting doctor, time, date, and also treatment, insurance, I decided to split it in several screens, in several steps, so it seems like not so big amount. And also if we already know some information, we can skip the step. So if we already know information about user experience, we just will not show the step for user, and it will be less step. And also in the future we actually can predict which doctor user will choose and which treatment they need, and just ask, hey, he taps on book and we ask, hey, you want to book appointments with this doctor, and that's it. So just one tap without,
I'm
and now
telling
4
you,
steps.
too easy. We don't have to think anymore. Ryan, your question about having time transition with auto animate, it's actually pretty easy. When you go into the prototype mode and you create an auto animation transition, under trigger, if you put timed transition, that animate will happen without a click. And then you can adjust that time on one of the options right below it. You should definitely try that out. I feel like I'm watching an app be born right before my eyes. It's growing up so fast. Hi, Carol. Great to see you. Thanks for being here with us. Just a really quick reminder, in about 30 minutes, we'll be reviewing the designs that you've shared with us for today's design challenge. It's a great way for you to get feedback and improve as a designer, use some of the inspiration that you're gathering by watching Olga design and apply it. So if you want to participate and share it with us, we'd love to take a look at them. And you potentially could win a year subscription to Creative Cloud. So go ahead and share your design with us. Nothing to lose. I'm gonna show Ryan really quickly what I mean by something. In XD, he's asking about time transitions. Just want to let him know what it looks like. Boom. Okay, so this is a really cool example. It's a file that Howard made, and if you've watched his streams, you've probably seen this before. It's like a parallax effect he made with auto animate.
Cool.
So it's kind of like, goes through the whole experience, and if you can tell, I'm not actually tapping, it's all timed. So how this is done is actually in prototype mode. If you click on an artboard, and then you click on the thing, you'll see that this is the trigger is set to time here, and that the action is auto animate, and the destination is the next artboard, and then the duration is timed. So that's what it looks like, Ryan, if you want to play around with it. I hope you can find what you need. We'll go back to your screen now.
We need to do something good when we start animation.
I'm excited to see. I did a little brushing up on the Auto Animate tool yesterday, so hopefully if we run into a roadblock, I can help navigate it too.
Cool.
There we go. Brian got it figured out.
So now I'm creating a list of dentists, and I'm also going to create just one, and then use repeat grid for other ones.
Our favorite, our best friend, repeat grid. Maria, we have the challenges typically every week. We'll have a challenge on a Tuesday and also a new challenge on Wednesday. And then we typically will do portfolio reviews on Thursday, where we ask you to share your portfolios with us and we review them on stream. So another question. Stephen was asking about the parallax file that I just showed. I don't have that available for download, but there's actually a Auto Animate UI kit that Howard created that has something very similar in it that's you can download for free on Behance. Val will share the link here in chat very shortly. So what's that second circle for?
It's just checkbox and ability to select. I'm not sure that we will use. It's actually we will use checkboxes in UI, or we may use something different to show selected elements. But yeah, for prototype, it's just to show that we may select this item.
Makes sense. Val, thanks for sharing that. You rock. In the portfolio reviews, Maria, they are actually going to be done through Behance. So what we ask is you have a portfolio uploaded to Behance, or you use Adobe Portfolio to share your work with us, and then we'll review them that way. And yeah, Gary, right above the player, there's a schedule tab. Right next to replays, if you click on it, you'll be able to see our schedule this week, as well as the content type for upcoming weeks. So you'll be able to see what the focus is for future Adobe Live events. Mikhail's asking if maybe first you need to select a clinic before selecting a doctor.
We create an appointment for one appointment. We create an application for one clinic.
Right.
So in this application, we can select any other clinic.
Simple enough. I'm always kind of amazed at how quickly these streams fly by. Makes me sad.
Oh, it's just 1 hour left. Yeah.
Yep.
Too quick.
Ryan, you rock. Thanks for being here, and thanks for the encouragement in chat. We appreciate it.
And magic. I really love this feature.
I know. I think it needs to be in every design tool.
Yeah.
It's so useful. And Mikhail, yeah, that's the assumption for this, is that it's a clinic with one location. You can adjust the padding in repeat grid. It's pretty easy. You just hover over the space in between elements.
I can show it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
and
like that.
You can
Boom.
do as you want, and also what is good, you also see the numbers. So you see the not just visual, but you also can calculate it. And all texts can be changed, and this is also awesome.
So hopefully that helps you out a little bit, Gary. Hopefully that answers your question. And I agree with you, Jan. I think that this is actually an experience that a lot of doctors' clinics could benefit from. I think sometimes I'm confused as to even how to book a doctor. I'm like, oh, I don't know what website I go to or who I call. So having an app would be really nice.
Yeah, thought about this application. Actually, recently I got rid of my braces, and I visited like dentist every 3 weeks, and every time I needed to call, and I hate it. I hate to call.
Oh no, do you have the phone phobia too? Well, congrats on getting your braces off. That's exciting.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I
I'm
had
really
them
excited.
twice.
Oh, why twice?
I don't know. It was the worst.
Yeah, it's oh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Kathleen says we were just talking about how hard it is to book a doctor. But yeah, I did have braces twice, and it's no fun.
Actually,
Painful, kind of.
It's interesting. Is anyone in our chat love visiting dentists?
Yeah. Do we have any
At least
dentist fans?
Yeah, at least one.
Dentists need more love, I think. People
Yeah.
don't like dentists. And I think they're nice people. They just
Yeah, they're really nice people, but
they just hurt your mouth.
but it's hard to love them.
Yeah. It's so uncomfortable. I sometimes get like in a cold sweat when I feel like I know they're like poking around too long, and I'm like, oh gosh, did they find a cavity or something? And I start to get real nervous.
Yeah.
Val says she's so afraid of the dentist. Kathleen had braces twice. Ryan says y'all have perfect teeth. It's thanks to the orthodontist.
Yeah.
Jesse has a dentist that is so awesome. All right, we have our first dentist fan.
Also twice braces. Yeah, it's crazy.
Ryan loved the dentist as a kid, but not as an adult. I'm sure there's a story there. There's got to be a story as to why. For those of you that are answering about whether you like or dislike the dentist, do you feel like an app like this would make your experience more enjoyable or easier?
Actually, think it should be, also some, I don't know, some fun in application. And also, I also thinking about how much, a lot of time you spend visiting dentists, and you can do anything this time. I also thought about maybe some VR or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can enjoy your time there.
So like the VR would take you out of the dentist
Yeah.
office? Yeah. I think some people need that. Or some dentist office will put you like kind of in twilight, like they'll sort of knock you out a little bit,
Yeah.
so that you kind of don't remember the experience, because some people get that nervous. So yeah, it can be traumatic. I think VR would be helpful. We've got Melody here in the studio.
Hey.
She'll be up right after this, so stick around. Ryan Riley says, heck yeah, it would. That this app would make the experience easier and maybe more enjoyable, especially if it had a VR option.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gerardo, today what we're working on is actually just the low fidelity wireframes, and then tomorrow she's going to start building out the UI and some more designed artboards. So that's where some of the color and some of the design elements will be customized and implemented. So definitely come back tomorrow and you'll see that come to life. Yep, Matthias is right. Thanks for your answer. Devin says VR is used for kids getting shots. It works. I believe it.
Yeah.
Have you played with like a VR headset before?
A little bit, but I don't know. For now, I'm not a fan, but I want to play more.
Yeah, why? Why do you say
it's
that? Like, why are you not a fan? What was your
I mean,
experience?
it's a little bit strange feelings, you know. It's like a little bit confusing for brain and for everything.
Yeah.
I actually tried to jump from the high building using VR,
Oh yeah, and it's so hard, right?
and it was so hard. I can't do it, but I can do it once. But I came back and do it
Oh no.
because you know you understand that there is nothing strange, but
But everything in your body is telling you
Yeah.
it's real, right? Especially if a headset in. I played this game called Resident Evil in VR, and you're like in a haunted house where basically somebody's trying to kill you, and you don't have a weapon, and you just have to like run around. And it was traumatic. Like I couldn't stay in the game for like longer than 10 minutes. It was one of the scariest things I've ever done, and it felt like it was real. You know, like the world looked so realistic. I had headphones on. I think after that I had the same experience. I was like, no thanks on the VR.
not yet.
Yeah. Yeah, Val, I'm serious. It's so scary. I mean, if you're into scary things, I recommend it, but if you're not, don't play Resident Evil VR. It's so scary. Yeah, exactly. I think the audio is what gets me. Feels like you can hear people talking in your ear and stuff. Ugh, it's so gross.
Now you can have even interfaces in VR and where you can manipulate something. It's
Oh.
cool.
Have you seen the movie that came out recently about the video game world, Ready Player One? Did you see that movie?
No.
So they had something really interesting in it where it was like a treadmill, but it's omnidirectional. So you can like run it. It's not just one way. You can go different directions on this treadmill. And I thought like, oh, that's just fantasy, but I realized actually pretty recently that they're actually building that in real life. So like for VR games, you can run or like, you know, jump or walk, and you can move, but you're actually just stationary. So I think that would bring it into a whole nother level, because then you're really transported into the world.
It's super cool, but it's a little bit scary.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Talk about a complex engineering problem. Like I can't imagine trying to engineer a treadmill that is omnidirectional and reactive to like pressure inputs. Like, oh my gosh, so much math there.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool to design a VR experience in Adobe XD. I feel like that'd be an interesting use case.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how it would be executed, but it'd be cool. Good old Adam Green. Is there a reason why you selected that name?
I don't know, but it moved from prototype to prototype, and it's my favorite
Oh, nice.
person. I always
It's a fictional person?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And I always create designs with Adam Green.
Oh, man. Just your best friend, Adam Green.
I don't even know any Adam, you know?
If we have an Adam Green in chat, please tell us hi. But something we could do that would be fun, maybe when we're working on the design, is we can pull names from chat into the app.
Yeah, cool.
That might be kind of fun. Or maybe even some of their avatars we could bring into it. They would have to tell us that they're okay with it, but I'm sure some people would be up for that.
So if you want to have your name in design, just let us know.
Yeah, do you want to do it right now?
I can do it.
Okay, let us know if you'd like to have your name in the prototype. We'll keep track of that. We've got them on the video game train. Everybody's talking video games now. All right, so Eric Sue wants to be in there. Alberto Silva. Gustavo wants to be in there. Okay, so. I can give
can
you
you
names.
just
Yeah.
give me the names
Alright.
because it's hard to.
The first one we have is Eric. It's Erick.
Mm-hmm.
And then last name is Sue, S-U.
Mm-hmm.
And that Eric has a K on the end.
Ah, I see.
CK actually, both letters. Yeah.
Sorry.
There we go. Perfect. All right, we also have Alberto wants to be in there. And that's spelled Alberto. And then last name is Silva, Silva. All right, I'm gonna scroll down a little bit, get some names from a different group. All right, we've got Jesse Brown, similar to Adam Green. They both have colorful last names. So Jesse, Jesse, and then Brown, Brown. And on the end of Jesse, instead of a Y, is actually an E. And then, all right, our last one, this last one we need, right?
No, we actually, but we can add anyone.
You want one more?
Yeah, we can add.
Okay. So we have one that's Beck,
Beck.
B-E-C,
Mm-hmm.
and then last name is Nelson, Nelson. All right. Thanks, everybody. You are now immortalized in the dentist booking. As dentists. Look at that. You got your degree just like that. Val says, hello, I'm Darth Vader. Please add me as a doctor. I think Darth Vader would be pretty funny in there.
Yeah.
I mean, no one in their right mind should pick them unless their name is Val. Jesse says, my mom always wanted me to be a dentist. I love that. Alexis, thanks for joining us from Uruguay. Awesome to see you in chat. If you have any questions, please let us know. And if you want to participate in our challenge, check it out. It's on the tab above chat that says challenge. You can design something and share it with us. Have the chance to win a year subscription to Creative Cloud, and we'll also review your work live on stream. And Beck's grandfather was a dentist, so at least it looks like she's followed in his footsteps. That's so funny. Val's got too many Star Wars jokes. Killing me. Are you familiar with Star Wars?
Actually, yes, but I'm not a fan.
Do you know Luke Skywalker?
I just heard, and I even watched just some episodes.
Yeah,
just a
that's
little
fine.
bit.
I was going to tell you a Luke Skywalker joke, but I'll leave that one for chat.
Yeah.
Luke is also quite handy. Gerardo's wondering if you have more doctors than what we have listed. How can you make a scrollable list? Do you do that on the wireframe, or would you do that on the actual UI?
I do it usually on time to time, and actually, for this clinic we actually have we assume that here are just 3 doctors, but if we have more of them, it will be scrollable list with sticky buttons, so you don't need to scroll to button and just can pick anyone you need.
Yeah, I think you could just extend the artboard, then make the bottom a fixed element,
Yeah.
and then continue adding to the list. And then when you go into your prototype, you can scroll.
Yeah, exactly.
We have some space haters in chat. Kathleen being one of them. Alma being another. That's cool. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But Val's furious on the other end of her keyboard. Gary Kapoor has all these tough questions. Do you know what functional specification is? Is that a term you're familiar with?
Yeah, it's. We called it in our company like user interface specifications, and here we put all information that may need it for development and future project life. For example, it should cover what happens if there will be more than 4 doctors, and also how each elements look selected and how errors look and some errors. So any kind of state of elements and what can happen with this element.
So how would you hand that off? How would you provide that? Is it typically a separate document? Or?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Hopefully that helps you out, Gary. Jonathan, thanks for joining us and for asking what's happening. It's a good reminder for me to let you know that we are live right now with Olga. She's designing an appointment booking app for a dentist office. Right now we're doing the wireframes. Tomorrow she'll be working on the high fidelity UI and screen designs. And then on Thursday she'll be actually prototyping an application that we can then play with. Something that's actually really exciting is she's going to publish the entire prototype along with the files after this week is over, so that anybody can actually access it and play with some of the elements. So thanks for joining us. We'll also be live right after this with Melody, who will be doing some very cool designs of her own, and I believe she's playing with some voice commands this week, so that'll be exciting. Kathleen says she's using XD to make a presentation about XD. Pretty meta. Do we have any people in chat that use XD for things that are not UI and UX design? Be curious to see. And Jonathan Anderson, the UI kit being used, there's some elements that were actually collected and put together by Olga before the stream, but you can find some very similar elements. If you look at the Behance wireframes kit, you can access those directly from within XD. You just go to File, Get UI Kits, and then click on wireframes.
Yeah, some of elements I put from this UI kit that you're talking about. But
and then others are just your favorites?
Others, yeah, my favorite, and some that I used for other projects. So cool. I just put it.
Awesome. So you had to say there was one tool that has kind of been your bread and butter while you were creating these artboards. Would it probably be the repeat grid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like that's making everything a lot easier. Paco sharing his dark secrets in chat. He makes the Adobe Live assets in Adobe XD. And Gary, yeah, you can create your own custom UI kits. You can find more UI kits. They're all over the internet. But that's just one resource that you can get that's totally for free. And we have Yins in chat. Device size is appropriate, seems a bit large. We talked about this earlier, right?
Yeah,
like why you decided.
About size.
Do you want to touch on that again?
Yeah, we can. So I use now design for iPhone X because I have this device, and on the third day when we finish UI and creating prototypes, I'm going to use it to see how it looks on a real device. But most often I create design for iPhone 8 size.
Cool. And a lot of the screen sizes are just presets in XD, so if you want to design for iPhone X or iPhone 8, you can just select that when you're creating your document for your artboard size. The Adobe Live DJ is DJ Pac-Man, sitting right next to me. He's quite talented. And Ryan, good point about the plugin. If you haven't yet, check out the plugins in XD. There are some really cool ones. You can actually design your own plugins. And if you want it to be available for anybody using XD, you can actually send it to Adobe and get it approved, and it'll be available in the plugins section. So you should check that out. I'm being corrected. It's iPhone 10, not iPhone X.
Yeah.
My bad. I'll get it right next time. At least I'm not calling you Jan. And Edward, the playlist is actually just a mix of a lot of tracks from Andrew Applepie and from Chill Hop Records. So if you search those names, you can find their music online, on SoundCloud, or on Google. I think even on Spotify, and you can get all sorts of the tracks that you hear. Veronica's wondering why you typically choose iPhone 8. Is that just the most common one, or?
Yeah, it's one of the most common one, and also it's like some middle size, and even I don't know, 5. It's like I checked recently, and only like 3% of people have screen size smaller.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it makes sense to start with this one and make it bigger every time, easier than make it smaller. So that's why I use that size.
That's really cool. I had no idea about the 3%. That's really interesting.
Yeah, we had some discussion in our team recently about sizes, and for which size, for which the smallest one, we need to create a design, and we checked this information.
Cool. Did you go to a certain like resource to find, stats on device sizes?
We just used Google and check like different resources for last year, and actually it's pretty the same information.
Nice. Google can be your friend when doing research. I think we all know that one by now. Oftentimes the viewers in chat are significantly smarter than we are, but I know it's because they actually just have Google at their fingertips, and then they just have every answer within a couple seconds. Or maybe they're just very smart. I don't know. iPhone 10 is a notch above the rest, Jan says. Very clever. You should send that to the Apple team and see if they want to use it in their next marketing campaign. Just a really quick reminder, you have a little less than 2 minutes to share your designs with us so that Olga and myself can give them a review. If you are still working, no problem, you can share it again in the next stream. Just share it sometime before 2:30 p.m. Pacific time, and you will get it reviewed on stream, and you'll also be eligible to win 1 year free subscription to Creative Cloud. Looks like we got some designs coming in.
Cool.
It's cool. Jonathan says Jan should be barred for that joke. I enjoy it. If you have funny jokes, if you have funny UI, UX jokes, or, like tech jokes, let us know. I'll read them out loud, or as long as they're appropriate, And Gerardo, just check out the challenge tab above chat. There's a form you can fill out and share the link to your design. If you're wondering how to publish your design link, there's actually instructions also on the same tab. And no problem, if you're just now seeing it, keep designing, share again in the next stream. Paul and Melody will give you a review, and you'll still be eligible to win. Wow, you're flying through these.
Yeah, this is the last screen from booking process, and we will need to create screen not empty for appointments, and screen with calendar for picking type, and maybe some dentist information and overview.
When you go about designing, like when you were sketching these artboards, did you come up with each screen design just based off of your own experience? Or did you like use references for something that does something similar in a different app?
Actually, everything you mentioned. So it's something is experience, something is my experience as a designer, something is my experience as visitor of the dental clinic, something is references.
So do it all. But I think, all of those can be great techniques for, like, let's say you're trying to tackle a design problem. Approach it from some different angles and get creative, but also compare it to things that do similar.
Yeah, also trying to think like not like a designer, but also like a user, and trying to think if it's comfortable for me to use if I'm going to do something.
So like design with the user first.
Yeah.
And Beck, that's a good question about selling an app design idea to a particular company. My recommendation would be the idea has value, but to a company, probably what has a little more value is actually having the app built, something that functions, maybe even has a user base, because then there's proof of concept and there's some work behind it. And then approaching a company that does something similar that might benefit from branching out into that area would probably be the way to go. So I think having like an actionable thing rather than just an idea is the best approach. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah.
She's wondering like if you have a really, let's say you have like an awesome app design idea, like could you sell that to a company, like just the idea, or how would you approach that?
Yeah, actually, it can be different approach. I know some stories about people who like create a redesign of existing, I don't know, it was related to Apple maybe, like Apple Music, some guy created redesign to it and they noticed it and invited him to join company. So you just don't need to be afraid to present your idea.
Yeah, and I think solving problems is really at the heart of it. So if you...
Yeah, so you need to show not just perfect looking screens. You need to tell a story and describe why it may help users.
That's totally, I'm totally in line with you on that. Jonathan's wondering if you have any tips for a UX grad student learning about UX design and trying to get into the industry. So someone with little to none experience working professionally, where would you start?
Actually, there are a lot of resources, a lot of articles that you may use to have some background information, but also you need to think first about users, and also you need to have your personal experience. So don't afraid to try. If you even mistake, it's not a problem. You just need to have your own experience, and mistakes are good, you know.
Yeah, I love that last bit about mistakes are good. I think like inherently we're really scared to fail, you know, like we don't want to make a mistake and we don't want to look bad, but like that's how we learn. Like that's really so important.
Yeah, it's from our childhood that it's bad to making a mistake, but it's not bad, it's good, it's your experience, and this is the biggest value that you have.
Yeah, totally. It looks like it's the challenge submission deadline, which means you no longer can submit and get reviewed for our stream, but if you're still designing, please continue and then share in the next stream. I'm sure Melody and Paul would love to give you a review, and you'll still be eligible to potentially win our prize, which is 1-year subscription to Creative Cloud. And I have all of our designs pulled up, so whenever you're ready, whenever you feel like you can take a break, we can...
Yeah, let's take a break. I just finished the screen.
Let's do it. So our first app shared with us, if you want to look on my screen, or you can review up here, whichever looks best to you, we can go ahead and click through it. Something I'll try to do is click through it the way that they've built, and we can also comment on the design. So this is City Ride. Find a scooter. So we've entered a zip code already. There's some hit boxes, so I know where to click.
Cool.
Honda Aviator. There's our overlay. This is what we asked them to do. Really good job.
Yeah.
Cool. So it looks like they've just made all of these transition to the same artboard, but it's really nice. User experience. I need to figure out how to... Okay, if I click on this...
Nothing. It seems like you can click, but
Where would you click next? Because if I click, it goes away. I'm just gonna hit the forward arrow. So this would be a good example of like, I'm not really sure where to hit after opening this dialog box. Oh, it scrolls. Okay.
Scroll.
So
And button, can you click on
Yeah.
no? Yes. Oh.
I would recommend maybe not having a scroll there. What do you think?
Yeah, it's better to just put the main information without scroll. Because you can you will scroll the map, and you have scrollable window on this scroll, and you can just
Double scroll.
Yeah, double scroll.
No, we want to stay away from double scroll. But I really like the concept. I think
Yeah.
it's great. Super easy and intuitive.
I like it too.
Enjoy 30 minutes free. Cool. Yeah, I think it's really nice. Like a lot of these designers were given this prompt an hour or two ago,
Yeah.
and they're sharing something that's really amazing. So great job with that design. Thank you for sharing it with us. We'll go ahead and move on to the next one.
It's good.
Oh, cool. It looks like they used some time transitions here for the splash screen. So it just goes automatically. Pretty sure. I'm gonna refresh it. Yeah. So it's just nice little transition there. Scooting for life.
Yeah, I like it.
Scooters for life. Soul scooters. It's a reference for our Team Pup and Suds out there. You ready to scoot?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Pick a destination. Request. What do I hit? This maybe? This.
It's cool. I'm just thinking that it may be a little bit small when you will try to tap using your finger. These elements may be too small to easy tap on it.
Yeah, maybe especially the pick up and drop off. Yep. So maybe that happens automatically, the pick up and drop off, depending on which phase of the user flow you're in.
Yeah, but in this case, it's better just to show it like not clickable.
Yeah.
Now it looks like you can click, but it's difficult. But scooting for life.
I
it's
love the
awesome.
design. It's
Yeah.
so fun. Like, I land on this page and I think like, I'm ready to rent a scooter. That looks like fun. And I come in here and I'm ready to scoot for life, and I'm riding. There's really nice transitions too. You did a great job with those, and a really nice design. The aesthetic's really sweet. So great job with this design, Scooty. Looking forward to seeing more designs from you in the future. And if you want to, anybody that's shared with us, if you want to keep designing, reiterating, adding experiences, and share again in the next stream, you're welcome to. Okay, go to the next one. Oh, I like this one too. These illustrations are really fun.
Yeah.
And if you want, and you're watching right now, this is your design, let us know as we're giving feedback, some of your design decisions, also like maybe where you got some of your illustrations from, because I think these are really cool. Like if you designed this scooter, I'd be really impressed. So feel free to let us know. Okay, it looks like there's a first page I missed. Oh, it's just a gray screen. Scoot. Find a scooter. Oh, that's cool.
And scooters on map. You see?
Yep,
This-
yep.
Cool.
Which scooter do we want? Oh, okay. Okay, you can pick a large scooter or a mini scooter. I love it. So it shows you like, okay, these are mini scooters.
Yeah, and
the
you
large
see
one.
highlighted. Yeah, it's cool.
That's super nice. I like how this banner popped up automatically. That was really nice. So you basically go find a scooter, and then boop, it pops up. All I have to do is click. So that's super cool. I like that a lot.
And you see also your location.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Sushi place. Sounds really good. I'm getting hungry. Yeah. Do you have any comments or feedback on the design itself? Anything that could be improved?
Yeah, actually, I like it. It just a little bit work on animation transition when you select mini scooter and scooter icons not at the same place, and they a little bit like change. You see?
Ah, that's really smart.
So it just move a little bit the second screen, and everything will be perfect.
That's great feedback. So if you want to go ahead and change that and mess with your design, feel free to share again in the next stream. But right now we're going to go to Hannah's design for Zoom. So we're on the first page here. We're going to go ahead and log in. Find near me. So this is the closest one. Reserve ride, scan code. Thank you for booking. Cool. Then search again. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like it. Just one scene, maybe just check contrast and white text on such background. From here, it's a little bit difficult to read, but there are a lot of actually cool tools, online tools that may help you, like online contrast checker and View First may help you.
I agree. I
future
think
design,
the
yeah.
white's a little hard against the green, and especially up here where we have this light gray.
Yeah, I can't read what is there. Yeah.
But other than that, I really like your design. I like your overall, your color choices. The gradients are fun. And it's really nice.
Yeah, it looks fresh.
Yeah, it's really easy to navigate. It's inviting, right?
Yeah.
So great job, Hannah. Thanks for sharing that with us. Up next, we have an app that was shared by Susan and actually embedded into a Behance project. So if you didn't know, you can actually share a prototype link that's embed and then put it right into a Behance project.
Cool.
So that's pretty cool. What I'm going to do is actually go into this specific. It looks like these are just artboards that are separate. So it's actually this is actually isn't. So something I would recommend to do now that I've seen it like this is actually instead of putting each artboard in here, Susan, is actually just embed the live prototype. That's what I would do. But let's go ahead and just kind of click through and see how it goes. So it looks like we're just jumping straight into the map screen here.
Yeah.
Sort of the similar scooter option. It's a bit long, so I don't know what it was designed for, but maybe this next is supposed to be the overlay that would come up if you click on a scooter.
Yeah.
I would think.
Maybe, what if we just scroll project on Behance without opening object? I mean, just scroll down. Yeah, the same.
Oh, it's down here.
It's, yeah.
There's a video.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
You're so smart. Nice. So there's a bit of a scroll there, but this is nice. I really like this, and actually if you're using XD on Mac, you can record a video super easily. If you're on Windows, I think it's
cool.
Windows G, and you can still record a video using the native record option in Windows.
Sushi place.
I think it's pretty easy, pretty nice. What do you think about how this the first artboard plays with the overlay? Do you think those two? Because that was like one of my gut reactions was maybe this overlay doesn't really like fit in with the vibe that I was getting here.
Yes, and it's I think that it should be like on the bottom of the screen, but it's like because the screen looks too long, it seems like it's on the middle. So scroll a little bit up. Yeah. So I assume that it should look like this on your phone.
Yep.
I mean, from the button, and you can select. But yeah, background is like it looks like from different application.
Yeah, I think.
From the last one with green gradients.
Yeah, actually, this is similar, and I think we have the same. I have the same comment here for Vroom.
Yeah.
You have white right over a pretty bright.
Oh, I
teal.
even didn't see that there is any.
And I think that's supposed to be the app name.
Yeah.
Probably, but I would just be careful again about the contrast, like we said before. But other than that, I think this is great. It's exactly what we asked for. You know, it's a mobile app rental.
And it's already like prototype in XD and Behance project and video and a lot of work done.
Yeah, and hats off to you for having you were able to put this into a Behance project. You even gave some context. This is my scooter rental prototype. Click the link to view the recording. So you even took a video, you shared your artboards above it. So I really like the context. It might be really nice if you were able to, at the top here, give a little context into why you created this, maybe about the challenge.
Yeah, about some description, goals of the challenge, and it always really helpful.
Yeah, but great job, Susan. Thanks for sharing that with us. And we'll go on to our last prototype here. So this is, I don't know if this is a scooter rental app, but we can review it.
It offers, it's not, it looks like
Oh.
not scooter.
These are
it's
scooters.
It's scooters.
These are scooters.
Yeah, it's scooters.
Yeah. Okay, so it's sort by best prices, and they're listing scooters here.
it's interesting how I receive these offers. I mean, for example, we are sitting here and open application and see offers, and I don't see where it's located. Oh, maybe on next screen.
Let's see.
I see if it's near to me or no.
So this would just filter out price range again.
Yeah.
So I think I'm with you. I'd like to see more context.
Yeah.
How this builds into a larger.
Maybe it's it looks more like, for example, buying scooter. For example, I decided to buy scooter. I select a model and see a price. And yeah, but if there is any description or who is created, it can just tell us in chat about your ideas.
If you shared this, we'd love to hear what you were thinking and what your plan was. It feels to me like this is one component of a larger application. But I think this fills really the goal of what we asked it to be, which was an experience for scooter rental where you have an overlay. And here's the overlay here. I think what might be kind of nice, I was thinking originally, was when this filter comes up, this overlay, the background becomes like really dark. Something that's sometimes nice is instead of that having it just blurred, I think it's kind of cool. So it feels like it's still part of the screen. It's just literally overlaid and now it's blurred in the back. So you can play around with that too. Any more feedback to this one?
I think no. I just want to see like location, what I can select, and maybe like real pictures. I don't know, something. It seems like it's Maxim works.
Yeah,
because
Maxim.
he tells us 15, but for 15 minutes,
so
it's
impressive. I think I also can tell you used repeat grid here, so you must have been taking some notes.
Yeah.
But really, honestly, like everybody that shared designs with us, I'm seriously super impressed. And I know it takes a lot of courage to design something and then share it and then have it reviewed live on a stream. So our hat's off to you. Thanks for sharing your work with us. And we're excited to see more work throughout the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So before we wrap up for the day, something I'd really like to do is, obviously, if you still have work to do, finish it up, and then maybe we can like go through beginning to end what you were able to work on. And
yeah, actually, I need to finish 2 or 3 screens.
Cool, let's do that.
It will be quickly, and we can review everything.
Oh, do you mind showing Ryan really quickly how to do background blur? Do you know how to do that within XD?
With XD, it's on here. 1 second, but background blur, and you just select it, but I don't have any background, so we don't see it. But we will try it when doing UI.
Yep, we'll show you that tomorrow, and maybe even on Thursday as well. But that's where you can find it, Ryan. You can play around with the background blur. Cool. So what are our last screens that you have to prototype?
Actually, this is a list of appointment with existing one and calendar to select booking time.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Anel. You rock too. Thanks for being here all the time. We appreciate having you in chat and having you as part of the community. And Jens, I agree, the shortcut changes from program to program can be confusing. Sometimes our fingers are just on autopilot.
Yeah,
Click the wrong
just
one.
remember.
Yep.
By the way, is there any way to customize shortcuts in Adobe XD? I know some tools
Let me see.
had some such settings. It's interesting.
I believe there's a user voice forum for it. Yep. I don't believe so, but there is actually a user voice thread where people are able to upvote that as an option. So if anyone watching is interested in custom shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts for XD, you can click on the link in chat on behance.net/live and give it an upvote, join the community, add a comment, sort of get involved there.
One thing that I miss in XD is that I can create several not artboards but several screens. in one project.
Gotcha. Matthias says, say no, Gus. I think I got there eventually. And it is Sambot behind Adobe Live right now. Alan Peterson.
We don't have any Alan Peterson.
Do we have? Is that your other friend? You have Adam Green and Alan Peterson?
My imagine friends.
That's so fun. Oh my gosh. You're gonna have to put my name in here at some point. I want to be immortalized too. I'll just pretend like my name's Alan Peterson. So Matthias is one of our moderators, but he recently got a new job working in Adobe Experience Cloud, and I believe he did a training session at work today where he taught his coworkers how to use Adobe XD, which is pretty cool. Talking about XD on iPad. You should ask Talon about that on Friday. He's the man with all the secrets. Yeah, we're proud of you, Matthias. That's super cool. So I don't want to rush you, but we have 3 minutes left for designing.
1 second.
So I just want to give you a reminder. Put you under the clock. And maybe I can help.
And calendar.
Good, thanks for voting, Alexandra. Also, it was great to meet you at Max. You came by and said hi at the booth, so that was cool. We've got Paul Tranny in the house, and Melody getting ready to stream in 2 minutes. Do you know how to use the auto list feature? Paul, do you know about the auto list feature?
Me?
Yep.
They'd have to be more specific.
Yeah.
You know there's a new Google Sheets add-on.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because I'm not privy to that yet.
I mean, they might be talking about repeat grid.
Oh yeah, that's probably
Maybe
it.
like that.
Julio, do you mean the repeat grid? Because we have been using that all day.
Yeah.
It's been our go-to. Yeah, Jonathan, if you can, get a ticket to Max next year. We should be there live streaming again, and it would be awesome to meet you in person. That was one of my favorite parts about Max, was meeting some of our viewers and friends that we've met over this last year in person.
So I think I finished the main screens.
Nice. That was so fast. At the end, you're like, watch this. Just sit back while I just crush all these screens. Nice. Cool, so do you want to do a quick recap on what you were able to design today and
Yeah.
then give them an idea of what we'll be working on tomorrow?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
So today we created wireframes for booking an appointment in dental clinic. We created a login screen using phone number, and also thought about users that we don't have in our database. They may need to create an account, and if we have our users in database, we propose to create an account for him. for them. So then we have a list of appointments. If user don't have any, he able to quick book here or here. And when user book an appointment, he selects dentist, then treatment, or maybe how we may help you, and what is needed. Then user may select a time. We show first like nearest slots available to quick booking, and also user can view the whole calendar and pick up date he wants. The not active dates
Nice. I
is
like
gray, yeah. And when user selects the date, he sees which slots available. Then the next step is insurance type. We ask it only if we don't know.
Cool.
And then thanks for booking, confirmation about time, and some information about booking. And also now user able to see this
Cool.
appointment in upcoming.
That's amazing. So we were able to totally get through user workflow today.
Yeah, and tomorrow we are going to create UI for this.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. If you're tuning in right now, please stick around for the next stream with Melody. She'll be live with Paul, creating a design of her own. Again, this week we're celebrating UI and UX design in Adobe XD. And we thank you for being with us today. Please come back again tomorrow at the same time to see this app take form in some more finished designs.
Yeah.
So, cool. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you.